So I'm working out of this again today, and I wanted to go over a few economic questions because they will be on the exam. I've seen them. So one is, to accomplish a large surveying project, it is necessary to borrow $50,000 for 6 months to cover additional payroll, surveying supplies, and other mobilization costs. Assuming simple interest of 16% per annum, how much would be due at the end of the 6-month period? So I know this is simple math, but the second question is kind of more to where I would forget. But I think most people would take 50,000 times 0.16 and they would get this number. So sometimes it's better to just have it in the calculator. When it comes to HP35, I had one. EasyCogo has a loan payment thing, equation, whatever. It's confusing to me. And though I appreciate that he puts out stuff, his examples are kind of lackluster. So they're hard to figure out, for me at least. The other thing that you'll have to consider is, if you don't remember this, here's what you get to work with. This is the reference manual. And those look a lot more complicated. The only one that kind of makes sense, and I would go over it, but the only equation I have is from EasyCogo, and his stuff's copyrighted, so I am sure he wouldn't appreciate me sharing it. But looking at that, I'm sure that you could come up with your own equation that you could put in there and put under economics like I have. So anyway, these are your choices, and it's just not my favorite. I like simple stuff that's just blaringly obvious. I mean, who doesn't? But I just don't feel like these are that helpful. And I remember taking an exam that had stuff on there like this, and I tried to use this to decipher it and got nowhere. So anyway, to the point, I created my own, because the one that HP35 has is like EasyCogo. They're very similar. So I don't mind sharing the HP35 one if you guys are interested. It's a lot. This is very, very simple compared to it. Anyway, so I'll get my calculator, and it'll be EQN. This is under loan amount. Enter. So my amount is 50,000. The percent is 16, and the months, because in the equation it has 6 divided by 12, so 0.5 would be your answer, which is half a year. But in this, I set it up to where you just input the months, so RS, and there's your answer. So the other problem, a project will require 4520 of direct labor for company that has a total fringe benefit and administrative overhead factor of 150% on a direct labor basis. Assuming that a 12% operating margin is desired, what fee should be quoted for the project? I feel like this is the one that's kind of hard to remember. And I tried to create an equation that was just one line, but I had to do a 2-step. And maybe there's something easier out there, but I'm a wing it thing. I know just enough to get me in trouble, basically. So we'll go to EQN. I just called it project quotes because that's what this is. So in the project quotes, after this line, it says 2 steps. That way, the next 2 are going to be this. So this is asking for your direct labor, and then it's asking for, I believe, the 150%. So that would be 1.5. That's going to give you a dollar amount there. And I've set it up to where it'll save. If you input it like I do, it'll bring this into the other equation. So go to EQN, Q for quote, enter. D is the direct labor. You'll RS it, and the percent is 12 now. And that's your amount. So 12,656. I mean, those are simple. So I just thought I'd throw that out there because the reference manuals, it's just really not that enlightening.